Hello and welcome to another update video about ADA, currently just moving sideways. And it is getting a bit, you could say, boring because it's just trotting sideways. And the reason for that we don't really see a lot of price movement here is that we are heading into the apex of a larger triangle, as you can see here. We have within that larger triangle, as you can see, we even have a smaller one with that descending trend line. The point is just that we are getting squeezed and squeezed. Okay, so that means that, this could possibly carry on for a bit. How long such a sideways movement takes is basically impossible to forecast. You can, as I always say, with TA and the Elliott waves, you can calculate targets, yeah. But how long it takes for these targets to be reached is basically impossible to forecast. It all depends on when the bears or the bulls are finally ready to make the move. The problem is when you're moving in a range like this, until you really have a breakout, there is no clear indication. Yeah, and this becomes painful to watch because as you're getting into the apex, obviously volatility is reducing, and you start to just rotate around the 45 cent level basically. So that's just as an explanation. But I remain of my view that here with ADA, we have this pattern A, B, C, D, E, where after the E wave, it would normally be suggested to be moving downside, to the opposite side of the wave E. You normally break out of the triangle. Still waiting for that. Of course, this could turn bullish, but at the moment, based on what we see, this is just no high probability bullish setup. There is basically for most coins a bullish and a bearish setup at the moment, highlighting the uncertainty in the market. But if you want to trade something, it might be worth to focus on the high probability setups. Yeah, ADA is not such a high probability setup, which doesn't mean it couldn't go to $4.50 or something in the next all-time high. This is still sort of my view, $4.50 for the next all-time high. Again, this can take many months to play out, maybe even years, nobody knows. But 450 sort of is a reasonable target for the next all-time high based on the higher level Elliott wave count, which I think showed in my video from yesterday. But it is not really, you always need to differentiate between maybe long-term accumulation and a swing trade setup. We don't really have a swing trade setup here. Not for a larger wave at least. In the short term, you can say, right, that we moved down probably from that peak here at around 52.5 cents down in a wave one. We're retracing basically, here we had the white wave count, which is the higher level 1, 2, then coming down here in 3. Within wave 3, we have a 1, 2 at the moment, and are possibly already in wave 3 down. However, the lack of impulsive price action to the downside could also indicate that we are still in this wave 2, or that wave 2 is finished and in the wave 3, obviously, again, just looking at the lower level waves, and again, we're looking at micro counting here, but just to give you an orientation where we are, that this is still a 1-2 setup within wave 3. So let me just tie that up. So wave 3 here is the highest level one, and I just need to change the degree. Let me just do that so we can differentiate here a little bit. So the red waves are within the white wave count, so you need 5 red waves to complete the white one, and then within the red wave count, you basically have here the green waves. So at the moment, it would suggest we are in wave 3 in red. But wave 3 in red also needs 5 waves in green. Just to give you a rough idea where we are heading here. A point here is this could very well be the 1, 2 still of the wave 3 in red. As long as we stay below 48.3 cents, that is a reasonable assumption. And if we look at the Fibonacci retracement levels, you could normally expect such a wave 2 to retrace into the region here between the 50% Fib level and the 78.6. And again, just in terms of micro counting, there's different possibilities. You could say that this here was in the wave 2, the A, the B, and we're now going up in a wave C. If that is the case, we could give it a target and say, all right, this was the wave A, and then key target would be 47.1 cents. That is the 1-to-1 ratio. That would certainly be at the moment the most reasonable target for this wave 2. If this is an A, B, C, it could also be that we have here the wave A, and that the wave B itself is a triangle, A, B, C, D, E, and then we see the C up. So it all could, it could extend sideways for a bit. That's what I mean. Really a signal that we are in wave 3 in green, that it has started, is if we break below that swing low here, below 45 cents. And then the next main support will be down here at the ascending trend line of that larger triangle that I showed you in the beginning, which is around 43.5 cents. Yeah, it's an ascending one, so it goes up all the time as we're getting squeezed sort of into the apex here. Could we go higher? Of course, nobody knows, but of course this could break out to the upside. But even if it does, and if we get above 48.3 cents, it would invalidate this imminent wave count. But all it would mean probably that I would have to make an assumption that this wave 2 was never finished. So it's not really anything that would suddenly be super bullish. There is at the moment no reasonable bullish setup here. Yeah, of course this could be bullish, but there are just counts and charts that give more confidence at the moment. So until we really see a clear impulse here, there is no setup. That's what I mean, right? Of course, we have an long term. If you talk about 450 long term, this is a 10x from here. That is my view. But the point here is we have no clear signal that the cycle low is already in. So I'm still looking at a potential 30-cent level for ADA. We don't need to get there, but based on this sideways range movement, which is all corrective, it would be better for the chart to make one more low to sort of just clean it all up and then start again. Yeah, and that's my update about ADA. So hopefully you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching and see you in the next video. Bye-bye.